welcome to the In Perspective Sports Show. I am your host, that nigga. Roger Horton in the building.
Yeah,
How my dude? I'm great. I'm good. We're gonna get into why I'm feeling good in a second. I got the guru with me here tonight. Will Barrel. Will Hubs in the building. What's good?
how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
It's good. It's good.
The big man, Sherman Corbin, in the building.
Shout out to Larry Finkel.
Big dog, big cuz, Dusty Rose in the building. Johnny Surratt, how you living, cousin?
I'm living good. How's everybody?
In the building, in the building, in the building. Of course, we're going to get into Conor McGregor in just a second. I always like to start out with a social, kind of a topic to see the relevance and the parallel that we have in sports and the world that we live in social aspects. Question. If Shaquille O'Neal were to, let's just say, and hopefully he doesn't do anything crazy in this nature, but let's just say he kills his girlfriend in a night of passion or whatever you want to call it, and he's in jail and he's tried and convicted in the whole nine. Shaquille O'Neal, big time, got a statue up and everything. Would the city of LA keep his statue up? Cuz I'm going to start with you. I have a point, and we'll get to that in just a second.
It's got to come down.
Why?
Why?
Shaquille was great in his
Murder?
time.
Murder?
In his time, though.
Murder?
In his time.
Murder?
There's a good part of what a statue means, though,
Gotta go. Gotta go like Joe Pa's statue.
Oh, yeah.
See, you killing my point. Hold on, don't kill Joe. Don't kill Joe yet, because I'm about to kill Joe.
Well, come on.
Well, we're going right into that thing.
Well,
Go
my-
ahead, let's take over.
Not only does the statue have to come down when somebody does something that is highly offensive to many, because those statues are only put up with the appreciation of the hard work that someone did based off the fact that they came, performed, did well, and stood strong for the community and represented the whatever form that it may be. So that's what it was put up for. And if anything changes within that, they got to bring it down. That's just point blank. It represents one thing, and when it went up under the terms of being non-offensive, as a statue was to glorify the hard work that he put in. So that's what that's about. And Shaquille O'Neal, for example, we'll go to Joe. Joe Paterno had a statue put in front of the school, in front of the stadium, and once he molested all the boys, and it came out.
It wasn't even Joe Pa.
Even when Joe
He
got
knew
through,
about it.
Yeah, I know.
even that's what. Let me rephrase it.
Yeah.
Once, due to the fact that Joe was he no longer represented what the statue was put in place for.
Thank you.
Yes.
See, the statue represented the hard work that they wanted to give back. I mean, they wanted to give back to him what he gave to the school. And when they found out what he actually gave the school, they brought it down. Once they recognized what it stood for, they brought what he stood for, they brought it down. So
Let me leave you there. I'm going to stop you there because I know we're getting ready to ride right into it. Great points on both parts so far. Mr. Big Man Sherman, what you think? Should Shaquille O'Neal, his statue come down if he ends up doing something heinous, his murder?
I mean, it's going to come down because of Shaq, who it is. But, yeah, man, insensitivity. To me, a lot of this has to do with history. The way history has been wrote, they've been lying to us for the longest time. To me, if history would have been written like it was supposed to have been written, I don't even think we'd have this problem right now. You know what I'm saying? It's something that they probably would have been down a long time ago, or maybe not even been built.
You talking about Shaquille?
No.
you stepping off into the other aspect.
Yeah.
He's jumping off.
Yeah.
But so I guess you're saying that it would be
That's a Duke fan for
Shaquille
you.
O'Neal.
Yeah,
But
most
you are in
ADD.
agreement with the
Yeah, I'm in full agreement with y'all. You know what I'm saying?
So because you already went there, I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah.
jump this social aspect off real quick. Do you think that it's crazy to think that these cats would like to see the statues of Robert E. Lee and other cats?
Hold on, before you go there, the Paterno statue. due to the fact that it got took down because of the fact that he didn't acknowledge the things that he knew was going on. That was fair enough to pull it down, right?
Right.
Okay, so should his relatives that have history behind that, should they be offended at the fact that they're bringing it down for what it actually represents now that truth has been brought forward? That's what the real question is. Should they be offended that it come down because of the fact that it's his history is why it's there? That's what they're mad about. History.
Well, I think, and I'm gonna come off of you. I think that they should be wanting to bring it down.
Their family should.
Because it will be a constant reminder that, damn, their family, oh, that's that dude that let all them boys get touched on.
Yeah,
and it won't be the greatest dude, you know what I'm saying? Right. Because that was a big deal.
But it's history. That's what I keep hearing. It's our history. I keep hearing this.
Heritage.
It's our it's our heritage. It's our history. So it's where our ancestors this and our ancestors that. Your ancestors is some murdering dogs.
Yeah, but in the same phrase, you get where they don't have slavery. We don't have slaves now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't get both sides of the fence.
This is what I've been hearing. You ain't personally ever been enslaved.
Yeah.
You personally haven't had any setbacks.
Exactly.
You shouldn't be offended by his history.
Okay, so. Like say, I like the paternal analogy. Yeah. So people that have been or seen, who has family members that have been molested and such like that walk by that and are offended by it.
Yeah.
Should it be anybody's problem but their own? No, because if it bothers the many,
yes,
that's what more concerns.
I don't think it really matters if it bothers the many. I think that if it bothers anyone,
if it bothers one.
Yeah. I was getting ready to go there.
Yeah. Hey. I mean, I don't think people really. I don't think that they here in the South. I think they just think that they're entitled to just not give two shits about any other race other than themselves, regardless of how it goes down. My point is, I understand the history aspect, but when they get offended when you say let's put these things in a museum, so that. Listen, why shouldn't we put everything in a museum so that this real story can be told? I mean, why not have the real story be told? I would glad to hear what makes them happy. I'd like to know what makes them happy, and I want to know all about it. But I want to know I can go and see it versus it being representation of my community. Because if that's what my community is about, I don't find that attractive. I find that to be disgusting.
Right. My whole thing is they're not going to. You understand what I'm saying?
Who's they?
The people who support, this and is in an uproar about this, man. I mean, at the end of the day,
they say you're in an uproar.
I'm not in no uproar.
No, I'm just saying that's what they say.
I mean, over the statue because I get that it's just a statue, but the realest part was whenever they pulled that one down in Durham. How cheap?
Right. Pull that bullshit down. Come on, man.
I seen this thing, but on how cheap it was. You know what I'm saying? If it was a true monument, a true statue, a true monument. Prime example, when we went to Iraq, and they went and took the statue of Saddam Hussein, they had to work on that bad boy for a minute. Do you understand what I'm saying? These ain't like that, It was put there.
That doesn't matter.
It was put there. Those statues were put there so when black people walk by, you know your place.
That's what I'm saying. What they're there for.
They're
there to check you. That's what they're there to check the people that. That's what all those. That's all it represents is that we did this to you. This is and we could care less how you feel about it.
It's my heritage,
right? Yeah. But they could care less. But my point is, I got no issues with that stuff. I mean. Don't get me wrong how that sounds. I mean, I think some of those pieces are nice pieces. I think they look nice. But as far as what they represent, I mean, I wouldn't have that in my yard. Would you have some of mine in your yard?
Right. But the whole thing about it is, the question I want to ask these good old boys is, are you willing to die for a lie?
We're going to stop right there, take a break. In perspective, we'll be right back.